All right, man. So right quick, man, let's talk a little bit about Gary Antuanne Russell, the younger brother of Mr. Gary Russell Jr., who we love on the pod, man, gives us plenty of quotables. But let's talk a little bit about Baby Pro, who is definitely on the come up, 16-0, 16 KOs. Everybody at this point who stepped in the ring with him has seen the canvas and been out of there. So at this point, man, we just saw the recent fight with him against Bartholomew. And a lot of people are saying that it was a early stoppage, right? So, Q, bro, what is your take on whether it was an early stoppage or not? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you think Gary Antuanne Russell would have won anyway and got him up out of there? Give me your take on that controversial ending to the Gary Antuanne Russell Bartholomew fight.
I think that it was a bad stoppage. He was just clipped. He was clipped with a punch that clipped him on the top of the head. It dropped him, and he got up. And it was some good back and forth. It was a pretty tough fight to score. It was they both had their moments, but I just felt like Russell was a busier fighter, probably had the more power. But it wasn't like it was a blowout. It was points where both men had their moments. I just personally would see Antuanne Russell getting stronger as the fight went on, because I just feel like his power would, and his work rate would eventually break Rances, but when he clipped him, I just feel like the referee, he was standing there looking at him. He gave the referee he had walked back to his corner and came back, it was like 8. Then he was like, let me see your hands. He gave him his hands, and then he looked at him, and I don't know what he saw in his eyes, but he called the fight. And my man was immediately like, well, hey, hell no. So I didn't really like that stoppage. I didn't really like that at all. But I just feel like, and that was a fight, because I don't know if you remember, he fought Robert Easter. And
right.
I feel like he won that fight, but they called it a split, like majority draw or something like that. It was a good fight, but I think it was a moment where we could have learned a lot more about both of those guys. You know what I'm saying? But I personally think Antuanne Russell would have won a fight, probably in a more devastating fashion, because I just feel like he had the power edge, and the pedigree of the Russells, man. I just feel like he come from that, and I feel like he got some decent power. And everybody remember, he fought Errol Spence in the Olympics. He fought him in the Olympics and beat Errol Spence. He not a pushover. 16 fights, 16. Was it the Junior Olympics or was it the Olympics? But I know
I know they definitely face each other.
And I watched that fight, and it was a pretty close. It was a good fight. But the bottom line is, I think that he deserved a better outage than that. I just feel like that wasn't a good stoppage for me. What you say about it?
Yeah, man, I agree. I agree that I think that the fight should have been able to go on from the point at which it was stopped. Salute to his big bro Gary Russell Jr. Again, even he admitted, I saw in an interview afterwards, that even he agreed and kept it 100 and said, I don't think it should have been stopped right then. That he should have been able to fight on. Now, of course, Gary Russell felt like a little bro would have got him out of there anyway. He didn't feel like it was going to go the distance, which, like you said, it was a tough, good fight. I still would have given Gary Antuanne Russell the edge, but I feel like he should have been able to continue. Now, the real question really starts to be, man, at 140, right? At 140, how far does he really go at 140? I think that's, Josh Taylor, who's got the straps right now at 140. You got a Teofimo Lopez up there. You have, and right now they're saying with Gary Antuanne Russell that he's not gonna go down to 135, because a lot of people have talked about, would you go down to fight the likes of Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, and all of them at 135. But right now, it seems like he's locked in and focused at 140, and he said that he's going to wait till all them come on up to 140. So he's going to try to go ahead and become the boss of the division and wait on them. So, bro, who would you like to see him in with next in his next fight, man, to take another step up? Because at this point, he knocked off the Wiley vet and Victor Postal. He's knocked off Bartholomew. Controversial or not, they're not going to do that again. He's going to move on to the next fight. But what would be the next step with a power puncher like this who is 16-0 with 16 KOs?
You got what my man, Josh Taylor, him and Jack Cottrell, they're about to get a rematch on, I think. And which it should be because Cottrell, I won that fight in my opinion. But happy to see that they're gonna make that happen. But personally, I think Jose Ramirez was lined up to fight, and Regis Progress is stepping in fighting the opponent he was supposed to fight because something about, I think he had a wedding or something. It was conflict of schedule. So I actually like to see him in something like a Regis Progress getting in. Regis ain't, he been inactive, and he's somebody that's pretty tough. And I think he lost to Josh Taylor in a close fight. If I ain't mistaken, or was it Ramirez? He lost to one of the top, I think it was Josh Taylor. But anyways, I like to see him in there with any of them top guys. I like to see him in there with Teofimo Lopez. If I could pick an opponent for him, I want him to get in with Teofimo. But I don't think that'll happen this early. I feel like Teofimo gonna take. I don't know who he's fighting. He fighting soon.
Oh yeah. Teofimo fight August 13th, man. Pedro Pedro Campa.
Matter of fact, I might be going off the rails a little bit now. But another fight that I heard is being looked at is Devin Haney versus Adrian Broner. Even though Adrian Broner got his plate full already on August 20th. But he still make 140. So I think Broner will be it's a lot of names at 140 pound division. A lot of guys that can make 140 pounds. So it's hopefully the biggest thing is because he's showing improvement. You don't be 16-0 with 16 knockouts. What is PBC and Al Heyman? What are they gonna do for this guy?
Right.
I mean, he Showtime, man. He come out here and he show. Look at the pedigree. This man he's a Russell, just like what they doing with Gary Russell. I just feel like they've been having a Russell family sitting on their hands too much, in my opinion. So I just want to know what's going on as far as on the whole PBC with the Russell family, because they need to be out there fighting. They need to be out there fighting these names. I don't care. Just like Tank getting fights against Cruz and Santa Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Man, let's keep the Russell family active, man, in my opinion.
Now I will say this to that point, bro. I will say in the most recent interview with Gary Russell Jr., it does. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It sounds like, not confirmed, but it sounds like Gary Russell Jr. might be about ready for retirement, because it sounds like right now Gary Russell, after this injury, he said right now he's not looking to get back in the ring anytime soon. He said that he's healing up slowly, but surely, that he's feeling better, but not rushing getting back into the ring. He said, honestly, right now, man, I feel like with the passing of their father, Gary Russell is taking it on himself to be that trainer.
Well, but that even speaks more to what I'm saying about Antuanne. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Antuanne, and keep it a buck in his post fight interview. He gave Showtime PBC. He gave them all the credit and congratulated them, thanked them for letting them be a part of this, of the card and everything. So maybe it's a turn of the tide, or maybe with what he's doing, maybe because I don't want to see what's been happening in the past.
Right.
Be a predication of the future. I want to see him because he's Showtime, and he's on Showtime, and he's Showtime. He box office, I think. Get his man his shine. I want to see him out. I want to see him fighting at least twice a year. And I want to see him in there with the names, And
I think to be real, bro, I do think that Gary Antuanne Russell he's right there on the cusp where I think one or two more fights, we're going to see him really start to hit that big stage where I think Showtime will go out there and really give him a main event, because the way they're going to navigate it, I think, bro, is they're going to navigate him at least until where he's a headliner. Because like you said, I love to see the Teo fight too. Yeah, I love to see the Teofimo fight too, and Josh Taylor in some of these fights. But what they'll do is bubble him up, let Gary Antuanne become a headliner where he's his own main event. Then it's gonna be time to get it cracking with some real people.
And Teofimo's in top rank anyway, so
right.
Yeah, so they'll definitely be feeding.
So they'll only probably really cross paths when titles start getting in the line. When titles start getting in the way, then we might see all that go down. But man, nevertheless, bro, we'll see what happens, man. But salute to the Russell family. They seem to be handling things as well as you possibly could. You know, it's never easy to lose a family member, especially I can't imagine, you know, a father, but they're handling it pretty well. And salute to Mr. Gary Russell Jr. for looking out for his brothers and trying to still steer his younger brothers in the right direction.
Facts. I mean, good stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Peace and love to everybody.